guys ready? Here you go, Piggy.
Can I get the other cheese? Sure.
No, Joy. You need to wash your hands first. Try not to get it under. Monica's turn. I can already tell that we got more milk today than last time. I haven't been consistent, hold on Joy, about milking them, but it's just because that my setup has been a little funky. So as I'm working out the kinks in that, I'm going to get more consistent, which will increase their milk supply and their comfort.
Ow!
Monica is cracking me up because she's like got her face stuffed into the food trough, but she is still trying to talk to the other goats. It's so funny. Come on. Moonlight. It's always amazing to me how we milk and milk and milk and get every last drop that we can, and then they're reunited with their babies and there's still plenty of milk for the babies. I just think that's amazing. I think it's lovely that it works that way. I do wish I could figure out how to get more milk though. Some people would say machine milking, and I agree that that would probably help us get more milk out of the udder, but I enjoy hand milking, and it's also not worth the extra cleaning and stuff like that to just milk a couple goats with a machine. Everybody happy? So we did have a little bit of spilling this morning, and I spilled some when I was pouring it in here, but we got over a half gallon, so already their supply is going up. I could tell the difference in their udder this morning, so I think that we are on the way to some good production. We don't farm for production in our animals. We don't try to push them to their max, but this isn't pushing them to their max. This is just providing them with the feed and the time and the environment they need to increase their production in a healthy way.
Fence is up, but my helper wandered off. I called him back because something interesting is happening. We're about to let the cows back into this section onto the grass.
Out.
You want to let the cows out?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to open the gate. You stand right here. Okay? I'll come join you. You're fine. You stand right there. I'm with you. Come on.
Come on. Silly.
Silly? Did you say silly?
Yeah, silly.
She's being silly?
Yeah.
Yeah. a nice site. I love this. I love that we're doing this. And I'm excited to see what it can do for our pastures and for our productivity overall, working with a fairly small amount of pasture and then just a couple cows. What'd you find?
Worm.
Show me.
Worm.
A worm?
Yeah.
Come here, show me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you found a worm. Nice.
Is that on?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Today we are planting our onions, and this year we're doing something a little different. We're planting our onions from dormant plants rather than from onion sets. And the reason we're doing that is because I was trying to figure out why my onions weren't storing through the entire winter but rotting. I knew some of it was my storage practices because I don't have perfect storage area for onions, but I knew that there was way more rot than there should have been even with that issue. I did some reading, and what I found out was that when you grow onions from onion sets, you're actually growing a second-year plant rather than a first-year plant, and for some reason that causes the core of the onion to stay green, and that rots throughout the winter, and it causes your onions to rot. So this year we are growing from dormant plants. You can also grow from seedlings that you start yourself or that you buy from someone, and that will help your storage time be a lot longer. I really want my onions to last the whole winter and into the summer so that we have enough onions to not have to buy them from the store. I have not reached that goal yet, but this could be the year. I think I'm planting around 400 plants, and I think that's about a year's worth of onions. If you don't know what an onion set is, you can Google it. It's also, I can just tell you, it's just like a dry, small bulb of onion. Looks like a little onion bulb, but it's all dry. And that's a great way to grow onions. We've grown them that way every year, and they grew well, and we had good luck with those as long as we kept our beds weeded, which can be tricky. And but we've never had good storage. So we don't have a greenhouse, so we can't start our own onion seeds. They have to be started really, really early. So I bought these off the internet from Dixondale Farms. I can't say if they're, a good source or not because this is my first year buying from them. It's just where I was able to find some dormant plants for a decent price. When planting onions, it's important to know what variety of onion you should plant in your area. Onions are typically defined by short day, long day, and intermediate day. So you need to look that up in your area to decide if you need long day or short day onions. We're kind of right on the line, but I got these intermediate day onions just because honestly I was having a hard time finding dormant plants. So that's what I got. I prefer growing Walla Walla onions, but I couldn't find those, so I got a variety called candy onions, and I'm hoping that they're going to do really well. Supposedly they're easy to grow, and supposedly with the proper care they can get a decent size. So all of that is dependent on the weather and fertilizer and things like that, and weeding. So, and also just I researched, and this variety is supposed to work great here, but we'll see how it goes. So with a little bit, if you guys need to know information about what onions to grow in your area, when to plant, whether to get short day, long day, intermediate day, you need to just do a little Google research. And I can't answer that question for you because I don't know where all of you live and what your needs are and things like that. I'm really excited to see what's on this tarp.
Whoa, snake.
Where? Oh, what kind?
Big artist snake.
Oh. Oh, I don't like snakes.
Looks like he just shed because He's got new skin. His eyes are still a little, almost semi-transparent. We'll let him go and leave him out here in the garden. The bad news is that goose that I tried to save the other day that had a prolapse vent didn't make it. If you haven't seen that video or don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link above this video or a card. And I had to euthanize her, or in other words, put her out of her misery, because the vent and her internal organs, or some of them, just fell back out by the next morning. And barring putting a bunch of sutures in her and like tying her vent up like a drawstring, I think that putting her out of her misery was the next best option, unfortunately. The good news is that the rest of the geese are doing really good. And I think they're gonna sit on the clutch of eggs that's in there once they get enough. I'm not sure yet though. These are still young geese. They've never done it before. No one taught them how to do it, so they have some ideas. And I'm hoping they can act on them.
You might be wondering why we're stacking boxes right here. We're gonna use cardboard and straw to line all of our paths to prevent weeds. Yeah, so all these boxes were free from the grocery store. They're just sitting outside to take, and the most work is gonna be breaking them down. So it's a pretty nice free weed barrier. We like being frugal on the farm as much as possible. Thank you, Grace. But before we start breaking those down, I actually have a whole nother row of onions here to plant. So onions need space in order to grow large bulbs, but if you plant them super close together, you can get smaller bulbs. But what you can also do is plant them for green onions, for just snipping the tops off and harvesting that and chopping up for salads and soups and just flavoring things. And we really like green onions. I buy them at the store every time I go. So I love this time of year whenever I can start just harvesting them out of my own garden. So you can see here I've already done some. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant a couple of these bunches of leftovers for green onions. I'm just gonna plant them super close together because I'm not looking to harvest bulbs, just greens. Okay, you can see that's totally done. It's not fancy. You just plant those babies really close together. We've got 200 in this bed, and then probably about the same in the other, but I'm gonna count just to know for sure. And there's 210 in this bed, which makes sense because I was using the end of the other bed for bunching onions. So 410 onions. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but if we can harvest that many and save up that many, that would be amazing. I'm not sure it'll last a whole year, but it'll be close. Arthur is working on our inexpensive mulch system, and I gotta water these onions. Onions need a lot of food and they need a lot of water. You can fertilize them if you want. We put compost in the beds. That's the way we fertilize. And they also need to stay weed free, which is where we've always gone wrong. So I am committed this year to doing a better job.
Do you want me just to do like a post here?
Can we water this cardboard? You don't have to work tomorrow. I am taking your truck to the farm store and buying as much straw as I can get, and I'm gonna start mulching everything. All right, I'm heading down to check on dinner. Time to make dinner. Also, thank you for my hori knife. Whoever sent this to me, I was just using it in the garden. It's perfect. I always wish these evenings in the garden could be longer, but I have to discipline myself to leave the garden at 5 o'clock and go finish dinner. As the days get longer, we'll go back in the garden in the evening. But right now, while during the day is really cool, we're in the garden during that part of the day. Okay, dinner's ready. We're having coleslaw, biscuits, chicken. It has been another great day on the homestead. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.